I met Ted when he was in law school at the University of Utah in Salt Lake. He was very friendly and interested in gospel and the Bible and the Book of Mormon, and we met with him often and talked about the church. Our goal was to convert him. My name is Larry Anderson. I taught Ted about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and then I baptized him. He was very outgoing, very friendly, great cook. Ladies liked him. He was somewhat of a handsome guy. We did a lot socially with Ted. One evening, we decided to have dinner at Ted's house. Ted was a gourmet cook. And at the time, the newspapers around here had published a lot of stories about what they called the Ted murderer. And they had a composite picture. As guys, we were laughing about what we would do with this guy if we caught him, being real macho. And we took that picture and we held it up like this to every one of us. And we passed it around to everyone in the room. And I must tell you, it didn't look like Ted. Anyway, we started to laugh, and Ted said, well, I know how a person could get away with this. He said, you could kill a person in one county, throw her body in another one, her clothing in a third county, and tools or whatever in another county, and no one would ever communicate. So if an officer found bloody clothing somewhere, that's where it ended. They didn't connect to other counties. And we didn't even think that odd at the time. We just laughed and thought it was funny. Looking back, I think he was taunting us, trying to say, I've done this, you can't even take a hint.
Bundy was back in court this morning. Hi, Ted.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Here.
Judge George Lohr advised him of additional charges: escape, second-degree burglary, misdemeanor theft, and felony theft. If Bundy is convicted of these counts, he could spend up to 90 years in prison.
While Ted was in prison in Utah, I was one of the few people that could visit Ted. And they put us in a room that was all steel riveted. And so I was physically with Ted. We hugged and we talked. And I asked him why he was in a restrictive jail cell. And he said that he was caught with a Utah driver's license and a credit card and a social security card. And I asked him, well, where did you get that in prison? And he said, the prisoners made it. And then he asked me to lean into him. So I leaned into him. And he said, I want you to look at the vent in the ceiling. He said, I could crawl out that air vent if I lost a lot of weight and escape. And I didn't think twice about that. I didn't tell the warden when I left. I just thought he was being nuts.
Ted Bundy has escaped again. The 5'11", 145-pound former law student hacked out a light fixture, then hauled himself up through a 12-inch by 12-inch hole in the ceiling. Somebody provided him a hacksaw blade, and he sawed through that light fixture big enough so that when he lost 35 pounds, he was able to crawl up through there, down into the jail officer's private apartment, grabs himself a set of clothes, and he's gone.
When the news came that he escaped, I obviously knew that he told me how he would do it, and I hadn't told the Utah warden. I'm not too proud of that.